we need to know all this about fats? We need to know a little bit about the details of fats so that when we hear about them, we can begin to understand why some are good and some are bad. And as it turns out, 30% of our calories come from fats, okay, in the diet. Okay, and you can say fats or lipids. Those words are used interchangeably. Maybe the more common layman's term is fats, but normally nutritionists, chemists, and biochemists use the word lipids, but we can use those words interchangeably, and we know what we're talking about. We're talking about a large group of molecules. In particular, nutritionally, we're talking about cholesterol and triglycerides. Okay, well, it turns out that 30% of our calories come from fats, and traditionally Americans have had a diet that's too high in fat, sometimes all the way up to 50%. That's too much, because high-fat diets have been linked to obesity and heart disease. And we'll look at part of the problem with fats and the fact that they have a higher calorie content when we get to, at the end of talking about macro and micronutrients, we'll come back to this concept of calorie content per gram. Fats have more calories per gram than do other macronutrients. And so, but it's important to have some fat in your diet because fats have some fat-soluble vitamins dissolved in them, and as it turns out, there's actually, your body can, catabolize and anabolize, which means to break down and build up various molecules to build up the types of fatty acids that they need, except for there's two essential fatty acids. Two fatty acids that your body does not make are, let's see here, linoleic and linolenic acids must be ingested. We cannot make those fatty acids ourselves. There has been some talk that linoleic acid, linolenic acid can be metabolized in the body from linoleic, but just not enough. So both of these fatty acids must be consumed, and the reason why is because they are then converted to arachidonic acid, and arachidonic acid is a precursor for a lot of prostaglandins. And we talked about prostaglandins earlier in the semester and how important they are as chemical messengers to regulate all kinds of metabolic processes, including body temperature and swelling and all kinds of things. Okay, so some fat is necessary in the diet. Also, cholesterol is important in cell membranes and as a precursor for other hormones, but your body can metabolize cholesterol. You don't have to eat it. You can make it yourself out of saturated fatty acids. So it's not necessary to ingest all the cholesterol that you need because your body can make it. And also, as far as these essential fatty acids go, most people don't have a problem with not getting enough fat. As a matter of fact, it only takes 1 teaspoon of corn oil to get enough linoleic and linolenic acid to meet your dietary requirements. Only 1 teaspoon. People who have some sort of issues with eating fats or a very, very restricted diet, or people who, for example, have been real sick and they're only getting calories from an IV, or if it's an infant that's being fed a formula that does not contain those fatty acids, those are people that run the risk of having some problems. And the problems that they have are skin irritation and increased infections, and for infants, they don't grow if they don't have these amino acids in their diet. Okay, so there are some health effects associated with it, and we do know that there's some fatty acids that you must get from a well-balanced diet.